Satnam. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Kundalini. I'm Mahan Raj Kaur. Is there anyone new to Kundalini Yoga? Nope. Okay. I want to tell you we're having a picnic today. It's at Terra Madre Gardens. It's out the 15. It's beautiful there. And they're going to do like a didgeridoo walk. There's a kids zone. Live band, fire ceremony. It starts at 3 o'clock, so you can go get some stuff done and then head out there. And then by then it will start to cool off. It's going to be really nice. So here's a flyer if you want to look at it. And then if you went on your phone, it's going to be right there in the events. You could click it and get the address. Okay? So if you need something to do, come be with us. It'll be fun. I live out that way. Now, then you'll appreciate how far I come, and I don't want to hear no more shit from you people. Okay, I'm just saying. No. All right, so we're going to do some work today. And so part of what I'm going to say in the beginning, if I don't say it enough, I love you and don't be so hard on yourself. I'm going to blanket that over the beginning. So we're going to do a Kriya for balancing the hemisphere and subconscious memory elimination. And the meditation is going to rid us of self-animosity. None of us are mean to themselves, right? Is anyone ever unkind to themselves? Okay, good. Well, this will go very well for you. So, I've been, getting ready for this Kriya and listening to Yogi Bhajan a lot because this strange guy, I was out at solstice and I was sitting somewhere, in the dust, just trying to get through that moment so I could get to the next thing. And this very strange guy, he seemed very out there, came and sat with me, and I'm like, great. And he was beautiful. And at the end of our conversation, he handed me this CD that was like all mashed in a paper. And he said, I want to give you this. Do you know that guy? Yeah, I guess he does it all the time. Well, I had his mashed up paper and CD for quite a bit and never played it. And a few days ago, I put it in the car. Oh, my God. It's amazing. It's all Yogi Bhajan, some of the best. Yogi Bhajan has all these different personalities. And this is when he was young and nice. He's really, really sweet in this. And how you can tell is there's this part where women are asking him questions, and he's so nice to them. This is a very rare occasion. He's like, it's okay, dear. It's okay. Or normally he'd be like, your mind is blah, blah, blah. But he was very, very kind. And part of what he was saying was what meditation really is, because she wanted that, hallelujah. And he's like, no, that is not what we're doing in meditation. He's like, we might get to that. But for the most part, when we sit, it's like taking a shower. The dirt comes up. That's really what most likely happens is like, oh my God, I can't believe you're thinking that. Like I always think about this. When I first did like a 2-hour meditation at SRF, this is so bizarre. I would sit there and start doing Kriya, and all of a sudden, my mind was organizing every closet in my house. Now, I wasn't necessarily thinking negative, but I would be like, okay, we could have put the towels there. And fully just, and I never did it. And my freaking closets are horrible. And I would watch myself do this, and I'd be like, what the hell? And then I, of course, would go, try not to, stop with the closets, what the hell? And then now I'm meditating on, I don't like meditating on closets, and but all I know is, at some point, it just sort of reached a crescendo. And it's weird because I wasn't focusing on a mantra. It was my own inner dialogue worked itself out till there was no more. And then, whew. And I think you've all dropped into that space. And then you're in there, and you don't really know how you got there, and how do we always mess it up? Oh, my God, look where I am! Yeah. No, shit. It was feeling so good, right? So part of the thing that we're dealing with our mind today is, that there's this doctor in Kundalini that works a lot with this Satkar Tar, And he's super funny. His name is Gaylor Madar, I think. And, you know, even the way he starts his talk is like, okay, well, I'm going to try to give you this talk. I'm not really even sure if I know what I'm talking about, but we're going to meander through this, and hopefully we'll get there, which is probably true for everyone. And so what he was talking about is our addiction, our challenge, the difficulty. Most of it arises from our not wanting to grow up. And Carl Jung calls it an alienation. And he goes, there are 4 alienations that cause us the most hurt. We alienate from ourselves, we alienate from nature, we alienate from others, and we alienate from our work. These 3 alienations, because our life is our work, so what will happen is we'll end up doing something that doesn't relate to who we really are. But by doing this practice, and I think one of the biggest practices in every single spiritual path is the art of being in nature. We have to have it more. That's why this picnic is super good, because it's going to be outside, and you're going to be with people. So your tendency to isolate and alienate from people is going to get pushed on, and your isolation from nature. We need it more than ever because of technology. We need it more than ever. It's our only hope. This earth is our only, it's our last thing we still have up our sleeve. You know, and if you're suffering from poverty conscious or depression, I'm telling you, besides Kundalini, nature will be your only answer. And it's really hard, because when you're sad, you don't want to move. It's like, you know, I can't. But if you will just shove yourself out that door and somehow get there, that's why it's good to have a dog. You know, get a dog that makes you walk them. It's a pain in the butt, but you do get outside, right? Mm-hmm. There is something waiting for us. And so what all of this does, you know, there's that line that I love so much, and I think sometimes I get off track with it. And it is, Yogi Bhajan says, the miracle is when you believe that you believe. He is not talking about you believing in your ego, which is usually what we associate it with. He's not talking about believing you will get well, or believe you'll get the job, or believe, no. He's talking about, will you believe in who you really are, and that there is nothing happening right this second that isn't exactly the way it's supposed to be. You know, and sometimes we have long, and what I'm noticing is I never got to thank you. Like, I don't think I've ever thanked God for my depression. I got a little realization about that today, driving in. Hell no. It's like, I'm not going to say thank you. But I remember when I was grateful for being an alcoholic, and that changed my life. So there is this point, you know, and sometimes we'll have something going on at home that goes on and on and on. Believe me, I've had that with my dad, my father-in-law. It goes on and on. It's unfreaking believable sometimes. No, really, we're going there, you know. And most of the time, I'm very dysfunctional. You know how I'm mostly handling it? I pretend it's not happening. That inevitably bites me in the butt, because at some point I go, rah, to Tony. And he's just like, geez, I didn't know you thought that, you know? And so I want us to that's the self-animosity. And it came from, because somewhere inside me, it's not okay for me to be angry. It's not okay for me to feel the way I feel. And so I'm going to just shut it down. And what happens is it eats me alive. Now I'm eating everything. No. It makes you eat, it makes you depressed, it makes whatever. So what we're playing with when we do this healing today is you're not going to stay there, right? We can have the angry moment and realize that's not who we are either. But you got to do it, because that's what's happening now. right? And if we can do it when it's happening, that's the key to everything. All these great teachers, right? Adyashanti, Eckhart Tolle. Sometimes I want to strangle that little Eckhart Tolle. It's like, what? Shut the fuck up. He's just so calm. In my pain body, I will not, I'm like, but everything he's saying, the only way it works is if I am where I am. If I'm sad and I go ahead with that, it's okay. It won't last as long as if I deny it. If I'm angry, I'm angry. If I'm happy, I'm happy. So that's why we're going to do this work. And part of how we're really going to go into our subconscious is we're going to have to chant something that we all know from our childhood. So we're going to have a little vote. Which do you like better? Row, row, row your boat, or twinkle little star? All those for row your boat. Okay, we ought to pick. The rest, are you Twinkle Little Star? Yeah. Okay, Twinkle Star. Okay, so you're going to be in that for a while. And, Yogi Bhajan said and he said it's your choice. He had them chant the Star Spangled Banner, and I thought, no, that's just, it has too many weird notes, and it would be bad if we had to do that for 6 minutes. Okay, so, but we get to choose, so we chose Twinkle Little Star. And just, the nature of this Kriya, just like in a weird way, puts you somewhere and then starts doing all this stuff to you, and we'll see what happens. There's this book called Breathing Underwater that I really love, and it's about our challenges in our lives. And one of the things he says is, he kind of takes the stance that what we call a sin really is an addiction. He goes, it's really our need to cause some havoc and some pain in our life. He goes, who would want to steal or murder or whatever? We don't want to, but by not taking care of ourselves long enough, it progresses into either, if it's all self-implosion, a disease inside, or a complete character disease on the outside, right? So we can do this work and love ourselves. That's the bottom line. Love our humanity. I think that's the most beautiful thing about Yogi Bhajan, and in the 3-day we'll hear some of them, and in the teacher training you're going to hear them a lot. And he takes some getting used to sometimes. But it's almost like over a time you learn to speak Yogi Bhajan. Isn't that true? It's like at first when you hear him, you're like, I don't know. It's like first you can't really understand him. Then sometimes everyone has a different thing. I thought he was too mean. I would like literally blot him out in teacher training. I could not handle it. And now it's like, I love it. I love it. But I've learned to speak Yogi Bhajan. But, he's just a character in that he really loves himself, you can tell. He does not make any apologies for how he's going to lay it out. And you know what that does for me? It helps me love me. And also, it helps me trust him implicitly because he's not hiding he's flawed. If he were, none of us would believe in him. It's clear he's flawed, but he goes on. And that's what he's teaching us. I love this one, and I'll end with this. This is my favorite thing he says. The only difference between you and me is I do not let my weakness collapse me. Isn't that awesome? It's like, yeah. But he keeps on teaching, and he kept on living, and he kept on shining, because, hey, those things weren't going to go away by closing in and shutting off and wishing they weren't there. They were going to go away. And this is the great thing, with that's, when you humbly ask God to take away your character defects, right? You're humbly asking. What does that mean? It's when the universe is good and ready, that's when. Not because I want to be really nice today. That just really doesn't cut it. It's like, just live, just meditate, just do the best you can, put it out on the table, what you need help with, and then leave it. Because the universe knows what's best. Maybe it's best for you to be selfish for a couple years more. Really suffer. Because then when you finally drop it, it's going to be a clean cut. It's going to be like, I am so done. We've all had those experiences, right? or, you know, a sickness or a family or, oh God, a relationship. I remember, like, how long am I going to be in this first marriage? Oh my God, I can't get out. I'd keep going back. Only when I went, you know what, that's what I do. I leave and I come back. I leave and I come back. Okay. Then it just ended. So whatever is in your life right now that needs your love, just imagine holding it like this in the class and saying, I don't know. I do not know what to do. You show me, universe. Help me to learn to breathe underwater. Rub your hands together. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Bring your hands into your heart and roll your shoulders back. Anchor into this moment. Just this breath. Feel your sit bones on the earth. Feel the massiveness of your energy and just imagine pulling it in a little tighter. Not lingering in the past, not reaching in the future. Just right here. Every pose, concentrate on that. Every song, try to listen to only that. Do everything you can for the next hour to be right here. That's the healing. That's what it is. It's right here. Love does not happen in another space and time. It can only happen now. Take a deep breath. And sigh. Inhale to chant. Om.